Switzerland's tax system, it is very complex, decentralized, and for many expats or even Swiss residents overall, it's a little bit intimidating. But here's the good news. If you know where to look, you can actually save a significant amount of money. As a CFA charter holder and an investment coach, I've seen how small tweaks can lead to really big tax savings. In today's video, I'm going to share 5 proven ways to help expats or the overall Swiss residents to save on taxes in Switzerland. Switzerland's tax system can vary a lot depending on where you live. Taxes are charged at 3 levels usually: federal, cantonal, and municipal. So it's also called local or city level. So this means your total tax bill depends on the canton and the town. And some cantons, for example, like Schwyz or Zug, are really famous for their low taxes and making them really great options for a lot of people to save money. On the other hand, some places like Geneva or Bern have much higher taxes. So here is how to make the most of this tip. So one, you really need to check tax rates before you move to a canton or a city. Use online tools. For example, there's one called ESTV tax calculator to compare taxes across different cantons, and this can help you figure out where you will pay less tax based on your income. I'll put a link in the description area so you can check later on. And secondly, you can actually live in one canton and work in another. In Switzerland, you can live in a lower tax canton even if your job is in a higher tax one. So commuting between cantons is common. So for example, when I was working in the corporate world before, I have a lot of ex-colleagues. They work in Zurich, but they live in Zug. So they take train every day to commute. But you need to make sure the savings are worth the travel time and also the cost. And usually you pay higher rental costs in a lower tax area. And also you need to think about wealth taxes too. If you have a lot of savings, investments, or property overall, you may also pay wealth tax as well in Switzerland. And canton with low income taxes usually have lower wealth tax as well. So this can basically double your savings. So overall speaking, by choosing a canton with lower taxes, you can save thousands of francs every year. And it is one of the easiest way for you to reduce your tax bill if you're an expat or just a Swiss resident. And secondly, you can maximize your Pillar 3A contributions. Switzerland's pension system, they offer a really smart way for you to save on taxes while building on your retirement fund. So Pillar 3 or Pillar 3A is a private pension account, and contributions to it are really tax deductible. It means every single franc that you put in Pillar 3A reduces your taxable income, which lowers the amount of tax you pay. First of all, you really need to know the limits. For example, in 2024, the maximum contributions is around 7,000 per year if you're an employee. And if you're self-employed and do not have a Pillar 2 account, the limit is even higher, up to, I think, around 35,000 Swiss francs. So you need to make sure to contribute to the full amount to get the most tax savings. So what I usually do is I really maximize the amount. And secondly, better to open multiple accounts, especially when the money accumulates to a certain level. Instead of putting all of your savings in one single Pillar 3A account, you can consider spreading them across different or several accounts, especially when you have more money inside. Why? Because when you retire, withdrawals from these accounts are taxed. But if you stagger the withdrawals over different years, actually, you can reduce the overall tax impact. So that's why a lot of my friends, like for example, they will use different portfolios for 3A accounts. And thirdly, you really need to invest your Pillar 3A funds instead of just putting your money into a low interest account, you should definitely consider investing it in Pillar 3A investment fund. The growth inside account is tax-free, so it is a great way to make your money work harder while still enjoying the tax benefit. The next tip that I wanted to share is deduct work-related expenses. Switzerland actually, they allow you to lower your taxable income by claiming deductions for certain work-related costs. Many people don't know about it, actually. And this is a great way to reduce your tax bill, especially if you spend money on commuting, working from home, or improving on your skills. And because of COVID-19, a lot of people are working from home. And we have already developed the culture of working from home in a lot of cities in Switzerland, so it makes things even easier. And here are some key deductions that you should consider. First of all, commuting costs. And you can actually deduct the cost of getting to and from work, whether you use public transportation or drive. Most cantons have a limit on how much you can actually deduct or claim, but the federal limit is around 3,000 francs roughly. And some cantons actually they allowed higher deductions. So check the rules where you live. And secondly, actually, there are a lot of home office costs. If your employer doesn't provide you with a workplace, you can actually be able to deduct part of your rent, utilities, and even furniture expenses. And this is especially useful if you work remotely. And keep in mind that you will need proof to show these costs are really work related. And the next one is about professional development. If you take courses, get certifications, or pursue some further education to advance your career, the costs are often deductible. And this includes tuition fees, books, and even exam fees. The next tip I wanted to share is to optimize your housing costs. Whether if you own a property or rent, there are actually ways to use your housing expenses to save on taxes in Switzerland. And here's how. So for property owners, you can actually deduct mortgage interest payments from your taxable income, which can make a huge difference. And then on top of that, if you spend money on maintenance or renovations to keep your property in good condition, and these costs are also deductible. However, some upgrades that are purely for example, luxurious purpose usually don't qualify. And be mindful of the deemed rental value. I think in German, they call Eigenmietwert. Please excuse my Deutsch. So, which is the income actually you are taxed on living in your own home. I know it is very, very weird for a lot of expats. We don't understand why we need to pay tax on top of, I mean, if I own the apartment, why I still need to pay rental tax, right? So, but it's worth understanding how this is calculated in your canton and looking for ways to keep it low, okay? So, such as not overestimating your home's rental potential. And for renters, so if you're an expat and your employer helps with your rent or your relocation costs, some cantons actually they allow special deductions for these expenses as well. Be sure to include this when discussing your expat package, benefit package with your employer. And the next tip that I wanted to share is to use tax efficient investment strategies. So Switzerland offers several ways to invest your money while keeping taxes as low as possible and make smart investment decisions. It not only helps you grow your wealth, but also reduces your tax as well. And here's how. Remember 3A investment account that we just mentioned, right? So instead of keeping your Pillar 3A contributions in a savings account, consider investing them in funds or equities. So actually it is for your retirement. So it's really long term. You shouldn't just put it as cash or some low interest products. So actually for me, 100% in equities or in stocks for my 3A accounts. So as we mentioned, growth within a Pillar 3A account is tax-free, and withdrawals at a later stage are taxed at a lower rate during retirement. So this, in general, is a really smart way to grow your wealth while enjoying tax benefits. And you should also avoid capital gain tax. So private individuals in Switzerland, you do not pay capital gain taxes on profits from stocks, provided they are not classified as professional traders. So in order to qualify as a private investor, you should avoid frequent trading, avoid using, for example, high leverage, and also avoid holding assets for a very short period. And the next one about investments is you really need to optimize dividends. So dividends are actually taxed as income in Switzerland. So choosing investments that focus on capital gain instead of high dividends can lower your tax. So personally, to be really honest, I do not have a lot of dividend stocks. Even if I have some, I still would want to reinvest the dividends back to the stock market. So talking about investment tax or the overall investments, if you are a working professional or a startup founder and you are ready to take the next step and start investing no matter in Switzerland or elsewhere, I'm here to invite you to join my free masterclass. So in this masterclass, I will show you how to create a tax efficient investment strategy and how I grow my 7-figure portfolio starting with just $500. It's completely free and designed to empower you with the tools that you need to succeed. I've already put the link in the description area below, so check it out. I will see you there.